A mysterious figure known only as the architect is spotted in the shadows of Ribblehead Viaduct, studying its towering arches. His intentions are unclear, but something about the way he inspects the structure feels ominous. He mutters under his breath, "It's all coming together." The silhouette of the architect, revealing the Ribblehead Viaduct in its full glory. The train in the distance approaches with its rhythmic hum, crossing over the arches that have stood for over a century. The wind howls and the distant sound of a train whistle pierces the stillness, setting a tone of unease. A woman named Nicole, a seasoned investigator, arrives at the site. Her eyes scan the viaduct, the place where she's been drawn by a string of disappearances. Each incident seems linked to the viaduct in some mysterious way. She receives a call.
"Are you there?"
A voice says.
"Don't go any closer."
Nicole's fingers tremble as she hangs up the phone. Her instincts scream that she's on the edge of something dangerous, but she presses forward. As she moves closer to the viaduct, the ground beneath her feet feels unnervingly unstable, as if it too holds a secret. Her heart races. Nicole stops in her tracks, sensing someone's watching her. The wind rustles and a low metallic creak echoes from the viaduct. She turns around, but there's nothing. Her hand instinctively rests on her gun holster as her eyes dart across the landscape, the feeling of being hunted heavy in the air. The architect, now visible at the far end of the viaduct. He's holding a blueprint, the ink smudged with age but still legible. He runs his finger over the paper, muttering,
"The end will come just like I planned."
His voice is chilling, almost like a prophecy. Nicole, unaware of the architect's presence, finds herself near a hidden tunnel at the base of the viaduct. Her flashlight flickers. She hears a voice, soft, almost imperceptible.
"You're too late."
Startled, Nicole turns, but there's no one in sight. The tunnel entrance looks old, weathered, yet there's something alive about it. As if it's waiting for her. She takes a hesitant step forward, the air growing colder as she descends into the darkness. Inside the tunnel, Nicole feels an overwhelming sense of claustrophobia. Her breath is shallow and every step echoes louder than it should. The walls seem to close in and she spots a strange symbol etched into the stone, a triangle with an eye at its center. The same symbol found at every crime scene. Suddenly, Nicole's phone buzzes again. A text from an unknown number.
"Get out. They're already here."
Panic rises, but she steels herself, determined to uncover the truth. The viaduct holds more than history. It harbors a secret that could change everything. Nicole races out of the tunnel and onto the bridge. She stops as the wind picks up, causing the viaduct to groan ominously. The sky darkens. Something feels terribly wrong. Nicole's gaze as she watches a black car pull up at the foot of the viaduct. A group of men in dark suits step out, their movements synchronized. They move with purpose. Nicole's heart skips a beat as she realizes they're not here by accident. They know exactly what's going on. One of the men, the leader, approaches Nicole. His voice is calm, but his eyes are cold.
"We know what you're looking for, but need to stop now. For your own sake."
Nicole squares her shoulders, undeterred.
"Who are you?" The leader smiles, though there's no warmth in it.
"We're the keepers of the viaduct's true history. You don't understand what you're up against."
Nicole clenches her fists, realizing that these men are not just protecting the viaduct. They are guarding something much darker. Nicole steps back as she feels the ground beneath her vibrate. The train is coming. But it's not just any train. It's a signal. As the train approaches, on a hidden compartment in one of the carriages, an object inside shifts in the light. Nicole's instincts tell her that whatever is in there is the key to everything. The ticking reaches a crescendo. Nicole makes a split-second decision. She bolts toward the train, dodging the suited men who shout after her. Her heart pounds as she sprints, knowing that she's the only one who can stop whatever's about to happen. Just as Nicole reaches the train, the leader of the men grabs her arm.
"You don't know what you're dealing with."
He warns, his grip unyielding. Nicole turns, desperation in her eyes.
"Tell me what's in that compartment."
The leader hesitates, his expression torn. He opens his mouth to speak, but before he can, a loud explosion rips through the viaduct. The ground shakes. The ticking stops. The train derails, sending shockwaves through the valley. The architect, standing at the top of the viaduct, He watches, unblinking, as chaos unfolds below him. His face is impassive, as if this is all part of his grand design.
Nicole, it's too late.
He says, his voice a whisper carried by the wind. Nicole stares at the wreckage, her mind racing. She knows she's reached the point of no return. The truth she's been chasing for so long is now in her hands, but it's worse than she imagined. The viaduct wasn't just a marvel of engineering, it was the final piece in a dark puzzle. Nicole runs to the edge of the wreckage, trying to find any survivors. But then she hears a voice, familiar and haunting.
Nicole!
It calls from the shadows. She spins around only to see a figure step into the light, the leader of the men in black suits. He's holding a briefcase, blood on his hands.
You should have stayed away.
He says coldly.
This was never about you.
The air thickens with tension as Nicole draws her gun, her finger on the trigger.
Tell me everything now.
She demands. But the leader only smiles, the briefcase glinting in his hand.
The architect's plan was never to destroy the viaduct. It was to awaken something beneath it.
His eyes gleam with something unearthly. Nicole can feel the ground beneath her feet vibrating again, but this time it's not just the train. It's something far older, far more dangerous.
The viaduct is a key, Nicole.
The leader says, his voice eerie, almost hypnotic.
And the architect, he's not a man. He's something much worse.
Nicole's grip tightens around her gun, her pulse racing.
What is he? What's happening here?
The leader opens the briefcase, revealing an old, weathered book. Its pages glow faintly as if alive.
The book
He explains.
Holds the ritual to unleash what's buried beneath the viaduct. The architect was its guardian. We were only meant to aid its awakening.
Nicole steps back, eyes fixed on the book, her mind struggling to piece together the madness unfolding before her.
He's been planning this for years. The disappearances, the symbols, it's all part of the ritual.
The leader continues.
And now, the final step has been set in motion.
The sky above darkens further as Nicole's mind spins. The ticking starts again, louder, quicker, like a countdown. He knows she's out of time.
If you wanted to stop this,
Nicole says, her voice cold with resolve.
why didn't you?
The leader's expression falters, guilt flickering in his eyes.
We couldn't. The ritual was too far gone. We were only the caretakers. But you, Nicole, you can still stop it.
A sudden crash erupts from behind her. Nicole spins around, gun raised, as a figure steps through the smoke and debris. It's the architect. His eyes are now glowing with an unnatural light, and his smile is wickedly twisted.
You think you can stop me?
He laughs.
This is inevitable.
The architect, his hands trembling with excitement.
The viaduct isn't just stone and mortar. It's an altar.
He says, his voice resonating like a deep echo in the valley.
Nicole,
He continues, stepping closer.
you've always been part of this. You just didn't know it yet.
Nicole stumbles back, realizing the viaduct is beginning to move, the arches creaking and groaning as if awakening from a deep slumber.
Nicole, you were meant to be here.
The architect presses.
The ritual called for sacrifice, your blood, your essence. Only then will the power below be fully released.
Her heart races as Nicole steps back, her mind racing.
I won't let you do this.
She shouts. The leader, who's been silent until now, suddenly moves in front of her.
You have no choice. The power beneath the viaduct is unstoppable. The ritual, it's already begun.
The tension in the air nearly palpable. Her world is collapsing, but in that instant she realizes something: she's not alone.
Don't listen to them, Nicole.
The leader says, his voice barely a whisper now.
You can fight this.
Nicole's eyes widen in understanding. The leader wasn't the villain. He was trying to warn her all along. The architect wasn't a madman, he was something else. Something ancient. But there's no time to think. She's standing on the edge of the abyss, and only one thing will stop it. The book. A violent crack shakes the earth as the viaduct's arches shift dramatically, locking into place. The ground splits open and something monstrous begins to stir beneath.
Nicole, destroy the book.
The leader shouts, but the architect lunges forward, slamming the book shut with a resounding thud.
You think you can stop it? You can't.
A rumble shakes the sky. The wind howls with unnatural fury as Nicole looks at the open pages of the book. The symbols on the pages glow brighter, the ancient power beneath the viaduct growing stronger with each passing second.
Nicole,
The leader screams, reaching for her.
you have to make a choice, now.
Nicole takes a deep breath, her eyes locking with the architect's. She knows what she has to do. Without a second thought, she lunges toward the book, ripping it from the architect's hands. The pages burn with an unearthly fire as she throws it to the ground. The book explodes in a burst of light, sending a shockwave through the valley. The viaduct trembles as the power beneath it begins to collapse inward, like a dam breaking under the pressure.
Nicole,
The architect's voice weakens as he falls to his knees, his once glowing eyes flickering. The screeching sound of metal twisting as the viaduct's arches begin to crumble, the massive stone structure shuddering like it's being torn apart. For a moment, everything is silent. The valley is still. Then Nicole hears the faintest of whispers. Something ancient, something beyond human understanding. A final, deafening roar. The viaduct collapses, sending rocks and debris crashing to the ground. But just before it falls, Nicole feels a hand on her shoulder. She turns to see the leader, his face pale but alive.
You did it.
He whispers, voice strained.
You stopped the awakening.
As the dust settles, Nicole stands at the edge of the ruins, gazing out over the Ribblehead Viaduct. The towering structure is gone, reduced to rubble. The dark forces are no longer a threat. But a question remains. What was truly beneath the viaduct? And why had they tried to awaken it in the first place? The leader looks at her, his eyes now devoid of the earlier tension.
The world was never meant to know.
He says softly.
Some things are better left forgotten.
Nicole nods, understanding. They've both lost too much for the truth to matter now. The expansive landscape of North Yorkshire, where the viaduct once stood tall. The wind blows across the valley, carrying with it the whispers of history. But Nicole knows one thing for sure. Some stories are better left untold. Nicole walking away from the rubble, her silhouette framed by the fading light. She has a long road ahead of her, but this chapter of her life is over. As she walks, Nicole looks down at her phone. A new message appears from an unknown number.
It's not over. The architect is just the beginning.
Her face hardens as she realizes that this might only be the start of a much darker journey. A distant train whistle echoes. A low, ominous hum fills the silence, leaving a lingering sense of dread. Is Nicole safe, or has she simply awakened something even worse than she could imagine? What happens next? Only time will tell. The Ribblehead Viaduct, now nothing more than rubble, but its memory still lingering like an unspoken secret in the wind. Will anyone ever truly understand the cost of the power hidden within? The story isn't over. It's just begun.
Disclaimer: the story presented here is purely a work of fiction and is created for entertainment purposes. Any resemblance to actual locations, events, or individuals is coincidental. The narrative does not intend to portray any place in a negative light, nor does it aim to harm or defame the reputation of any location. For those who enjoy stories in the thriller genre, feel free to subscribe to the Thrill Lab channel to stay updated on upcoming thrilling tales.